Good morning, guys. If we accept the idea that we are the programmers and that we can write the program, the final part of it is to live and run the program. Run the program, the new program of your mind, the current program that you are creating, the one where you know that you can be better than you were yesterday or than you were a second ago. And it is a process. It is a tough battle. But if you commit to it and if you live it and run the program that you write down and create for yourself, you are going to see incredible changes. And I want you to know that you're going to get challenged each and every moment. There are going to be voices in your head that are telling you, you can't do this, that you can't continue on, you're going to lose. You have to stand up and fight those voices every single day by living that new program. And eventually, it will become natural. Have a great day, everyone. Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed, breathing in through our noses and out through our mouths. Feeling the power of you controlling your breathing. Knowing, remembering, it's the same power we use to control our thinking. And use that power. Use your determination to see in your mind today your best effort in all the exercises, stretches, movements we do here together. See in your mind right now. See yourself doing the best you can, giving the best effort you've ever done for anything. Maybe you want to visualize the last time we did these exercises and stretches together. Go there and think right now about what you could do better or differently this time. It's the same process we use to grow our minds and grow the strength and health of our bodies and energy. Alright, good morning, determination. How's everyone today? Another day in the gym of life. Wherever you are, if you're at home, outdoors, indoors, let's go. Let's make this the best gym period ever. Here we go. Alright, when I say go, we're going to start jogging on the spot. But for now, if you would like, just to slowly warm up, you can walk on the spot or walk side to side. Okay, so walking on the spot first or side to side, wherever you are. When I say go, we'll start jogging. Ready, and go. Again, remembering our breathing. Always controlling our breathing as best we can. And focusing on the movement of our body right now. The awareness of what we're doing. The awareness of being here together right now, united in the gym of life, always, wherever we are. Keep going, everyone, keep going. A few more seconds to warm up our bodies. Feel the power of your heart beating faster. Your breathing wanting to change and go faster, but you get to control that breathing. Always the way we control our thoughts. And stop. All right, everyone, walking. Just going to walk side to side here. You can do the same. Remember to always move safely within the space that you have. Continue to take deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel your heart, your breathing, all coming back to the previous state before we started jogging. All right, everyone, and let's start doing our stretches. Let's do shoulder rolls first. Here we go. Roll the shoulders forward 10 times. Big shoulder rolls all the way up to your ears as much as possible and all the way around. Let's do 10 forward and then 10 backwards. Feeling that tension and then that release as we come around. All right, let's go backwards. Feeling the joy of being able to move our bodies to release some of that tension, maybe that tightness we might have. So important that we work on our bodies and our minds every day. As we work on one, we work on the other. All right, arm circles forward, everyone. 10 forward. Here we go. Slowly, all the way up and around. Excellent. All right, and backwards, everyone. Again, feeling the joy of your arms moving through space. You controlling your physical body. All through the most marvelous supercomputer in the universe, your mind. All right, good. Hands on your hips, everyone. Bend your knees and side stretch. Let's do 5 on each side. All right, excellent. Okay, let's twist our bodies now. Twist. Again, 5 on each side. Feeling the joy of moving our midsection of our body. Just the middle point of our body. All right, excellent. Okay, let's do 5 push-ups, everyone. Our best 5 push-ups. Here we go. All the way down, all the way up. The best you can. All right. And 5 sit-ups. Best 5 sit-ups ever. Here we go. Alright, and stand up, everyone. Let's do 5 squats. Here we go. All the way down, all the way up. Down. Looking straight ahead. Feet flat on the floor. Excellent. Let's do 6 lunges, 3 on each side. Alternating legs. Arms out. Back straight. Good. Alright. 10-second plank, belly's knees off the ground. Hold it there for 10. Excellent job, everyone. Okay, stand up. And reach for the ceiling or the sky, wherever you are, on your toes. Here we go. Reaching and holding it there for 10 seconds. Again, feeling your body, every part of it working to achieve the goal of holding this for 10 seconds. Excellent. And reach for your toes, straight knees. Go as far as you can. Remember, you may not touch your toes, that's okay. Reaching is the most important thing. Going for it. Doing your best without hurting yourself. Keep those knees straight. Excellent. And come on up. And let's balance. Grab one leg, bend the other knee if you have to, and hold it there for 10 seconds. Keep fighting to keep your balance if you have to. Keep thinking, channeling your thoughts to keep your balance. Excellent. All right, and switch. Again, pulling your leg back, feeling the stretch on the front of the thigh. Bend the other knee if you have to. Remember, if you lose your balance, you fall, you get right back up. Never give up, never stay down. Always do your best to get right back up. All right, here we go. Let's hug our knee now. Hugging the knee, pulling it up. Once again, thinking about what we're doing. Trying to find that balance point. Bend the other knee if you have to. Hold it for 10 seconds. And switch the other one, slowly coming up. Again, find that balance. Feel your body working to find that balance. Alright, excellent. Holding it for 10. Okay, and good. Let's sit down, everyone. And
Messi gets away from Xavi Torres, and it's Messi! Brilliant goal! But they lead.
Alexis, spare man, Pedro, and Lionel Messi walks it in.
Sam Walton's first store was so successful that his landlord stole it from him. He lost everything, but instead of quitting, he built Walmart to the world's biggest retailer. In 1945, Sam Walton opened a small Ben Franklin franchise store in Arkansas. He worked relentlessly, offering low prices and treating customers like family. Sales skyrocketed, and the store made more money than anyone expected. But success came at a cost. His landlord, seeing how profitable the store had become, refused to renew the lease. Worse, he took over Sam's store for himself, keeping the business Sam had built. Sam lost everything, but instead of giving up, he borrowed money, moved to a new town, and bought his own land so no one could take it from him again. He focused on low cost, high volume, and rapid expansion. Store by store, Walmart grew until it became a $400 billion empire with thousands of locations worldwide. Sam Walton's biggest loss became his greatest lesson. Never let anyone control your future. When life takes something from you, will you give up or build something even bigger? If you've been here before, drop a hashtag Believe in the comments below so I can feature you here in a future video. And if you're new, welcome to Believe Nation, the only channel that helps you believe in yourself daily, one video at a time. Early life and first business ventures. Sam Walton was born in 1918 in rural Oklahoma and grew up during the Great Depression. From a young age, he learned the value of hard work and frugality, milking the family cow, delivering newspapers, and doing odd jobs to help his family make ends meet. This early work ethic and resourcefulness shaped Sam's character. He attended the University of Missouri, graduating in 1940 with a degree in economics. Eager to start his career, Sam took a job as a management trainee at a JCPenney store. There, he proved to be a natural at sales, but a bit sloppy with paperwork. In fact, his boss almost fired him for being disorganized. Sam hated making customers wait, so he'd rush through paperwork and focus on helping people instead. Ironically, this flaw was an early sign of his customer-first philosophy. He would later say, there is only one boss, the customer, and he can fire everybody in the company from the chairman on down simply by spending his money somewhere else. Even as an employee, young Sam Walton believed happy customers mattered more than strict adherence to corporate procedure. In 1942, Sam joined the U.S. Army during World War II, serving as an Army intelligence officer until 1945. By the time he returned to civilian life, he was 26 years old, married to Helen Robson, and ready to run his own business. Sam's goal was to open a retail store of his own. With $5,000 of his own savings and a $20,000 loan from his father-in-law, Sam purchased a small variety store, a Ben Franklin franchise in the town of Newport, Arkansas in 1945. This humble 5,000 square foot dime store became his training ground as an entrepreneur. Sam threw himself into making the store a success, despite having no experience running a business and even unknowingly signing an expensive lease with 5% rent on sales, which was the highest rent anybody had ever heard of. He compensated with sheer determination and smart ideas. He learned everything he could from the franchisor's training program and from observing competitors. Now, early on, Sam experimented with tactics that were unusual at the time, but would become hallmarks of his style. For example, he found suppliers outside of the official franchise network to get merchandise cheaper. Then he sold products at lower prices than anyone else, sacrificing profit margin for high volume. He kept the store open longer hours than competitors and made sure shelves were always full. In short, Sam broke the conventional rules of small town retail to put customers first. Everything he did seemed so obvious. It seems that way because it is, an observer noted. First, he learned all the rules. Then he broke all the rules, which did not make sense to him. The results were astounding. Walton's little Newport store started breaking sales records. In the first year under Sam's management, sales jumped over 45% to $105,000. The next year, they rose to $140,000, then $170,000 the year after. In 5 years, Sam had quadrupled the store's revenue to $250,000 and was earning healthy profits. By 1950, it was the top performing Ben Franklin variety store in the entire region, the best in Arkansas and neighboring states. Sam, at not even 32 years old, had proven himself a brilliant retailer. He repaid his loans early and became a respected business owner in the community, active in the Rotary Club and church board, with 3 young children and a wife who loved their small town life. It seemed like the start of a long, successful career in Newport. The landlord who stole his store. Then in a heartbeat, Sam lost everything. The success of Walton's first store had not gone unnoticed, especially by his landlord. The store building was owned by a man named P.K. Holmes, whose family had retail interests of their own. Seeing Sam's booming sales and realizing he was earning 5% of those sales as rent, the landlord decided he wanted the valuable store for his own son. When Sam's 5-year lease came up for renewal, Holmes refused to renew it at any price. Sam Walton offered to buy the building. He begged to at least get an extension on the lease. The landlord simply said no. Sam had no renewal clause to protect him. A rookie mistake that left him at the landlord's mercy. Despite all the success Sam had created in that location, he was effectively kicked out of his own store. Holmes did pay Sam $50,000 for the store's inventory and fixtures, which Sam considered a fair price, and then turned around and gave the store to his son to run. In essence, the landlord stole the business that Sam had built from nothing. For Sam and Helen Walton, being forced to leave Newport was devastating. It was the low point of my life, Sam admitted. He poured his heart out in his autobiography about that moment. I felt sick to my stomach. I couldn't believe it was happening to me. It was really a nightmare. I had built the best variety store in the whole region, and now I was being kicked out of town. It didn't seem fair. I blamed myself for getting suckered into such an awful lease, and I was furious at the landlord. Helen was heartsick at the prospect of leaving Newport, but that's what we had to do. This painful setback taught Sam Walton a hard business lesson. Always read the fine print and never let someone else control the ground under your enterprise. He later acknowledged that he was naive about contracts and real estate, saying, "I know I read my leases a lot more carefully after that, and maybe I become a lot more wary of just how tough the world can be." In short, Sam learned to never put himself at someone else's mercy again. Many entrepreneurs would have been defeated by such a blow, losing one's thriving store and being forced to uproot your family and business. But Sam Walton was different. As hurt as he was, he refused to indulge in self-pity for very long. "I've never been one to dwell on reverses, and I didn't do so then," he said later. His optimism kicked in. Instead of giving up on retail, Sam decided to start over. This time, a little bit smarter. He was determined to find a new opportunity and make sure that no landlord could ever pull the rug from under him again. Starting over in Bentonville. In 1950, Sam and Helen packed up their young family and set out to find a new town in which to rebuild their business. Sam drove around Arkansas hunting for a promising location, somewhere small enough to have little competition but lively enough to support a store. He found the ideal spot in Bentonville, Arkansas, a tiny rural town with a population of only a few thousand. This time, Sam was extra careful about the lease. In Bentonville's town square, he found a rundown storefront and negotiated not only to buy the store, but also secure a 99-year lease on an adjacent space so he could expand. He absolutely refused to repeat his Newport mistake. In fact, Walton's father-in-law had to step in and convince a reluctant neighbor to grant that long lease, paying $20,000 just to close the deal, so Sam could have peace of mind about expansion. With the real estate side locked down, Sam was ready to open his new store. On May 9, 1950, the Waltons held a grand opening for Walton's 5 and 10, the new dime store in Bentonville. The Bentonville store quickly proved that Sam had hadn't lost his touch. Despite 2 established variety stores already in town, Walton's 5 and 10 undercut them all with consistently lower prices and friendlier service. Customers responded with enthusiasm. Many had never seen a store owner so committed to giving them bargains. Sales at the Bentonville store in its first full year jumped from $72,000 under their previous owner to $105,000, then kept growing to $140,000 and $175,000 in the following years. In fact, Bentonville's success mirrored Newport's. Sam had essentially replicated his earlier venture, but now he owned the store and had a secure lease. No one could take it away. But
Good morning, guys. Gary Vaynerchuk reminds us as we close off with him that there are no overnight successes. There is no overnight success. When we go on our path to becoming our greater, better selves, we are going to want to see results right away. But it's just not the way it works. Nature, the universe doesn't work that way. You can become successful and achieve anything you want, but it takes time. And it's not an overnight success. We have to put that thought in our heads. We have to realize that we have to enjoy the process of becoming our greater selves. So Gary Vaynerchuk reminds us of this all the time. And you look at his story, if you look him up, it's taken him, I don't know, maybe 20 years of just pure, relentless, hard work at his business and becoming and developing the mindset he has. So let's remember from him as we go on our path. Have a great day, everyone. And reach for our toes. Straight knees. Hold it there for 10 seconds. Again, thinking about our breathing. One great breath in at a time. One great thought in at a time. All right, let's make a V shape with our legs and reach for the floor as far away from our body as we can. Just reach. Reach as far as you can go away from your body. And reach for one side, hold it for 10 seconds. And good, the other side, 10 seconds. Again, if you don't touch your toe, it's okay. Just reach. Reach. Always go for it. Always do your best. If you feel a pain, though, make sure you come back a little bit. Okay, and feet together. Gently push your knees down with your elbows. Hold it for 10 seconds again. And always remember that breathing. Good air in. Bad air out. Good. And one leg forward, one leg back. Keep the knee on the ground. Go as far back as you can. Hold it there for 10 seconds. Alright, and switch to the other side. Again, keep that knee on the ground. So you feel the pull on the front of your thigh. Doesn't matter if you're not all the way back with your back, it's okay. Alright, good. And roll onto your belly. Push the floor and look up at the ceiling. Cobra stretch. Here we go. Hold it for 10 seconds. Or look up at the sky if you're outdoors. Alright, and legs crossed again, everyone. Back straight. Eyes closed. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And now, using our powerful imagination to see what we will do when that music goes on. I'm going to play some of my favorite songs today. For each song, I'm going to hold an exercise position. For me today, I'm going to visualize and see in my mind holding the lunge position for each leg for the duration of the first song. For the second song, I'll be holding the V sit up position as long as I can, for as long as I can, but I will continue right to the end of the song. How about you? Play your 2 favorite songs, or 2 songs that change your energy state so you can be your true great self and motivate yourself. Or you can listen to my music, but whatever you do, see in your mind right now the 2 exercises you've chosen to do, or stretches, or movements, or dances, or something that you want to do to work on your body safely when that music goes on. See it right now, clearly in your mind. Because you were born to do that. You were born to see it in your mind and make it real with your eyes open in the world. Alright, here we go, determination, here we go. For me, it's lunge position. Here I go. Try to keep my back straight, keep that knee off the ground. If you're doing the same, again, do your best. Hold it there as long as you can. I'm going to try to hold this leg for half the song and then hold the other side for half the song. And if you want, yeah, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth, as Pharrell sings over here right now. I think happiness is the truth. We were born to be happy, all of us, no matter what. For me, there's no greater happiness than working on my mind and body all the time, wherever I go in the gym of life. And I hope the same for you. But remember, you were born to be happy, to be free, to be peaceful, kind, and loving, always. I'm happy right now. I hope you're happy right now. Because if you can be happy now, you can be happy forever. Wherever you are, no matter what. Alright. Let's do the other leg. Shake it out a little bit. Don't let anybody or anything ever bring you down. You were born to be happy. That's up to you. Always up to you. No matter how hard things are, always remember your determination. Your power to determine, to make the positive, accurate, truthful, winning, loving choice. Always. To be good. To be your best for others, no matter what. Even when things are uncomfortable, like right now, this is getting uncomfortable for me. But I get to keep going. I get to keep using my determination. Because I'm happy, I love it. And I want happiness for you and everyone, the whole universe. And I pray for that every single day. Song's not over. I gotta keep going. Let's do the other leg. Let's do the other one. Yeah. Let's clap along, yeah. Happiness is the truth for sure. Here we go. And switch the other leg. There we go. Find that balance. Let's go, everyone. Clap along wherever you are. Happiness is the truth. Let's go. Thank you, Pharrell. happiness. You're made of happiness and truth. All right, I'm proud of your effort, wherever you are. Let's go.
Pedro, great ball. Lies made the move. Pedro fights for it, gives it to Messi.
Make it 44. Shared to Bayern Munich. 67.
Sam Walton wasn't about to stop at one store. As he later said, maybe it was just my itch to do more business and maybe to...
I didn't want all my eggs in one basket. The 1950s saw Walton expanding steadily. He reinvested profits into buying more Ben Franklin franchise stores across Arkansas and neighboring states, often leveraging loans to grow. He even brought his younger brother, James Bud Walton, as a partner to help run the expanding enterprise. Sam also had an innovative approach to motivating store managers. He offered many of them a chance to invest in their own store for a share of the profits. This gave his managers a sense of ownership and drove them to work as hard as Sam did. By 1960, about a decade after the Newport fiasco, Sam Walton was the proud owner of 15 variety stores throughout Arkansas, Missouri, and Kansas. He built a small chain of thriving five and dime stores, all based on his formula of low prices, friendly service, and hard work. Yet, despite this success, Sam felt the business could do even better. He noticed that even with 15 stores, the profit weren't as high as he expected, given how much effort he and his team were putting in. The reason, he realized, was that the traditional variety store model with relatively high costs and markup limited how low he could price goods and how much volume he could move. So Sam began toying with a radical idea. What if he completely reinvented the concept of the discount store? A new idea. Big stores, tiny prices. By the early 1960s, discount retailing was not an entirely new concept in America, but it was still in its infancy and mostly confined to urban areas. There were some big city discount chains that sold goods cheaply, but they typically operated in large towns and urban centers and often only cut prices on select items. Sam Walton's big idea was to bring discount shopping to rural America on a scale no one had tried before. He envisioned large stores in small towns that sold a bit of everything at rock bottom prices every day, not just during sales. Instead of the traditional high markup on goods, he would slash prices and make profit on high volume, essentially the philosophy he had used in his small stores, but now supersized. This concept flew in the face of conventional wisdom. In fact, when Sam pitched the idea to the Ben Franklin franchise company, who were the Butler brothers, proposing that they support him in opening a massive discount store that would require buying goods at lower wholesale margins, the directors thought he was crazy. They flat out refused to back him because his plan would have meant cutting their own profit margins in half. To them, selling everything at deep discount in a small town sounded like a fast way to go broke, but Sam believed in his vision. He later said one of his rules was swim upstream, go the other way, ignore the conventional wisdom, and this is exactly what he was about to do. If the franchisors wouldn't join him, he would do it himself. So, in 1962, Sam Walton took the biggest gamble of his life. He mortgaged his home, borrowed as much as he could, and pooled resources with his brother Bud to open his first independent Walmart discount city store. The very first Walmart store opened on July 2nd, 1962, in the town of Rogers, Arkansas, just 20 miles from Bentonville. Sam was 44 years old and finally launching the project that would define his legacy. The store wasn't fancy. In fact, it was a bare bones operation in a metal building and concrete floors. At 12,000 square feet, it was much larger than his dime stores, but still modest by later standards. From day one, Walmart's prices were significantly lower than local competition. Walton stocked a wide variety of goods, clothing, housewares, toys, hardware, and marked everything down, aiming to undercut even the big city retailers. As Sam later described, the Rogers store was truly ugly, and heavy with merchandise, but for 20% less than the competition. He wanted to see if people in a town of 6,000 would flock to a no-frills barn full of bargains. The answer was a resounding yes. Shoppers from Rogers and all the surrounding rural areas poured into the new Walmart. They loved the idea of getting big city discount prices in their own backyard. Walmart was an immediate success, far exceeding expectations. And tellingly, the big retail giants didn't see it coming. 1962 was actually a landmark year in retail. It was the same year that launched the first Kmart and F.W. Woolworth launched Woolco, both major discount chains targeting urban and suburban markets. But Walton's operation in rural Arkansas flew under the radar. As he later joked, he was too far off the beaten path for the industry leaders to worry about. By being a scrappy pickup driving country boy focused on small town customers, Sam faced little direct competition at first. And that early freedom allowed Walmart to refine its model and gain a foothold without being crushed by the big guys. Throughout the 1960s, Sam opened more Walmart stores across Arkansas and into neighboring states. The strategy was clear. Find towns that were large enough to support a major store, but small enough that national chains ignored them, then become the dominant low-price retailer in the area. Sam's company built its own distribution system to keep costs down, locating warehouses centrally so that each store was within a day's drive for Walmart's trucking fleet. By cutting out the middlemen, buying in bulk, and moving goods efficiently, Walmart could keep prices irresistibly low. The concept of everyday low prices was born, and customers were now in the habit of driving long distances to a Walmart to save money. If you want to take real action after this video, I made a free worksheet just for you. It covers the top lessons from today, gives you space to write your biggest takeaways, and helps you build a simple action plan. It's 100% free. Just click the link in the description to go grab it. Let's start building real momentum in your life and business. I'll see you there. Rise of a retail empire. Walmart's growth in its first decade was impressive. By 1967, the Walton family owned 24 stores, generating $12.7 million in sales. And by 1969, Walmart had grown to 18 stores and was incorporating as a company. Sam Walton, ever ambitious though, realized that to sustain this growth, he would need more capital than he could borrow from banks. In 1970, he took a bold step and took Walmart public. The initial stock offering raised nearly $5 million, huge infusion at the time, which Sam immediately plowed back into expansion. The Waltons still maintained majority control. Sam's family held about 61% of the shares even after the IPO, but now they had the cash to accelerate store openings. And accelerate they did. All through the 1970s, Walmart opened new stores at a blistering pace, spreading across the South and Midwest. Sam's strategy of saturating smaller markets before competitors arrived proved to be very effective. And from 1977 to 1985, Walmart exploded from 190 stores to 800 stores. By 1980, just 18 years after the first store opened, Walmart had 276 stores and was opening about 100 new stores per year. The once tiny Arkansas venture was now becoming a national powerhouse in retail. In 1983, Walmart opened its first Sam's Club warehouse store in Oklahoma, expanding into wholesale bulk sales for small businesses and individuals. Another highly successful format. In 1988, Walmart launched its first supercenter, combining a full grocery supermarket with general merchandise under one roof, foreshadowing the one-stop shopping behemoths of today. And as Walmart grew, Sam Walton became incredibly wealthy, but he remained humble and fiercely devoted to his company's principles. In 1985, Forbes named Sam Walton the richest man in America, worth an estimated $2.8 billion at that time. However, those who saw Sam around this time often comment on his lack of interest in luxury. He was famously frugal, continuing to drive an old pickup truck and flying coach class on airplanes despite his fortune. He preferred wearing his old clothes and a Walmart baseball cap to fancy suits. When asked about his modest lifestyle, Walton said, "People might not understand why he didn't indulge more, but for him, running the business was the real thrill, not material extravagance." His down-to-earth style filtered into Walmart's culture, where he referred to all employees as associates and often visited stores to chat with staff on a first-name basis. He even instituted a morning cheer, "Give me a W-A-L-M-A-R-T," that workers would do to build team spirit, a quirky tradition that continues in Walmart meetings. Sam also had a fun, competitive streak that endeared him to employees. One famous example, in the early 1980s, he made a bet with his executives that the company could not achieve a pre-tax profit margin of 8%. Confident they wouldn't hit that high mark, Sam promised that if they did, he'd do something outrageous: dance the hula in a grass skirt on Wall Street. Well,
Morning, guys. I want to share with you a story from Les Brown again today, in order to laugh in terms of our being on our path to infinite mind wealth, and just to know and be aware that either it might be you or it might be people around you, it might be our children. There are times when we look at them, and there may be times for yourself where you may be getting into trouble, making mistakes, this and that. Well, I remember Les Brown sharing a story where his mom was referring to his childhood and saying, when Les finally achieved his dreams and he was able to buy a home for his mom, she said to him, I could never have imagined this happening. You were always getting into things when you were young, Les Brown. You were always getting into trouble. I could never have imagined this. So it just reminds me that we're always going to be on our path to making mistakes. And some of those people around us that we think they're always getting into trouble, we're all trying to figure it out. They're all on their path. So I just thought it was so funny. Never underestimate ourselves. Have a great day, everyone.
Collaborate. All right, next song, everyone. Let's go. V sits for me. V sit up for me position. How about you? What are you gonna work on? Let's see. Whatever it is, do your best. Here we go. If you want to try what I'm doing, go for it. Let's go, everyone, together. If you got your own exercise, your own movement you're doing, go for it. It is a bright, sunshiny day where I am, right here, right now, doing this video for you, for all of us, for myself. I hope the same for you. But more importantly, I hope that it's bright, clear, and sunny, always in your mind, right now, wherever you are. Because that's always up to us. Oh, I love it. I love working on being our best in whatever we do. No matter how hard it might be, no matter how challenging. There should always be nothing but blue sky of thoughts in our mind. Clearness, clarity. We can do it. It's up to us. We were born to do it. To let those dark clouds pass, those thoughts, those negative thoughts. And remember the truth of what we are, who we are. Oh. Whew. I love it. I can see clearly right now. I know I got more. Here we go. Song's not over. Let's go, Mr. Francis. Let's go. Let's go, Nick. Here we go. Keep going, everyone, wherever you are. Keep going. Let's go. This is the best effort ever we're giving, right? The best effort, no matter what. The way we do this is the way we'll do everything. Fall, we get right back up. Still not over. Song's not over. Let's go. Keep going. We fall, we get right back up. Never give up. Never. Never give up until it's a bright, sunshiny day in your mind, and we've done the best to help with other people with their mind. It's possible. All through your determination. Let's go, everybody. Oh, great effort.
Oh, it's a chance for Messi. Galloping clear, it's another hat-trick. Slight deflection and in. I fancy he'll go on to set many more records, but one at his disposal here. No mistake.
Sure enough, Walmart hit the 8% profit goal, and Sam was a man of his word. In March 1984, pedestrians in New York's financial district were treated to the hilarious sight of 65-year-old Sam Walton, one of the richest men in the world, wearing a grass skirt and lei, doing a hula dance in front of the New York Stock Exchange. The event was even captured in a photograph and became part of Walmart's lore. This stunt showed that Sam never took himself too seriously. He was willing to embarrass himself a bit to celebrate his team's success. It also illustrated how much he cared about his associates meeting goals. He was genuinely delighted that they proved him wrong by achieving record profits. Meanwhile, Walmart's business triumphs continued. By 1987, Walmart had become the third largest retailer in the United States, behind only Sears and Kmart. The tide was turning in retail, and Walmart was leading the change of a new model. In 1988, at age 70, Sam decided to step down as CEO, naming David Glass as his successor, but Walmart stayed on as chairman, remaining deeply involved in the company's direction. Walmart kept expanding geographically, entering California and the Northeast in the late 1980s and early 1990s, and also kept expanding its store formats. All this time, Sam Walton was battling an aggressive cancer, diagnosed in 1989, but he hardly let it slow him down. At Walmart's June 1990 annual shareholders meeting, a frail but determined Sam stood up and forecast that Walmart would hit $125 billion in sales within the next decade. That sounded astonishing at the time. Walmart's sales were about $32 billion, but Walton was as bullish as ever. In truth, his prediction turned out to be too modest. Walmart would surpass that figure well before a decade was up. In the early 1990s, Walmart overtook Kmart and Sears to become the #1 retailer in America, confirming that Sam's formula of low prices and broad reach was unbeatable. Final days and lasting legacy. In March 1992, as Walmart approached its 30th anniversary, the company, now a nationwide giant, received special recognition. President George H.W. Bush awarded Sam Walton the Presidential Medal of Freedom on March 17, 1992. In front of a cheering crowd, the president praised Walton's entrepreneurial spirit, his innovation in retail, and his concern for employees and the community. Too weak to stand for long, Sam accepted the medal from a wheelchair with his characteristic humility. It was one of the last times the public saw him. Just a few weeks later, on April 5th, 1992, Sam Walton passed away at age 74. At the time of his death, Walmart had over 1,700 stores across the country, plus a few international locations, and was generated nearly $50 billion in annual sales. Sam's personal fortune was nearly $25 billion, making him not only America's richest man, but one of the wealthiest individuals in the world. Although Sam was gone, the company continued its meteoric rise under the foundations that he had laid. Just as Henry Ford revolutionized manufacturing with the assembly line, Sam Walton revolutionized retail with his relentless focus on efficiency and low prices. He shifted the balance of power in retail from manufacturers to consumers. The idea that the customer is king was exemplified by Walmart's ability to demand lower prices from suppliers and pass the savings on the shoppers. The Walmart model paved the way for an era of big box retailers and category killers, from Home Depot to Costco, all following the template of large-scale discounting that Sam championed. Business schools began teaching the Walmart effect, the dual impact of positive for consumers, challenging for competitors and suppliers that a Walmart store brought to any region. Today, Walmart is a colossus, the largest company in the world by revenue and the biggest private employer with over 2 million associates worldwide. In the fiscal year ending 2020, Walmart's revenues were about $524 billion, and they continued to climb. The company that started in a small Arkansas town now has 12,000 stores globally. Sam Walton's 3 surviving children, Rob, Jim, and Alice, and their families collectively still own about half of Walmart's stock. And for several years running, the Walton family has been ranked as the richest family in America, a testament to the enduring value of Sam's creation. Yet, beyond the numbers, Sam Walton's legacy is about more than just a retail chain. It's about a mindset. He demonstrated that treating customers well and never being complacent could shake up an entire industry. He proved that big dreams can start in small places, that a merchant in a town of 3,000 people could outthink and outwork the titans of retail. Sam also taught through his own life the importance of humility and continuous learning. He was known to visit competitor stores, even famously getting arrested in Mexico for crawling on a store floor to measure aisle width because he was benchmarking their own store layout, always looking for ideas to improve Walmart. He never stopped trying to learn from others, whether it was a store manager or a rival CEO. And when mistakes or failures happened, Sam owned up to them and moved forward, stronger than before. But perhaps the greatest lesson Sam Walton left us comes from that terrible low point when he lost his Newport store. He didn't let bitterness or defeat consume him. Yes, he was angry and felt life had been unfair, but he channeled those feelings into determination. As a Harvard business case study noted, great entrepreneurs often face setbacks that seem unfair, but they view them as temporary misunderstandings to be corrected with even greater effort. Turning setbacks into success. The story of Sam Walton is the story of turning a devastating setback into an even greater success. If his landlord had never thrown him out of that first store in 1950, Walmart might never have happened. Sam himself acknowledged that losing the Newport store was a pivotal moment that drove him to innovate and expand more boldly. It taught him to never again let someone else control his destiny. As a direct result, he made sure to own or secure his store locations thereafter, and he expanded his business so no single blow could ever wipe him out. In an ironic twist, nearly 20 years after being run out of Newport, Sam Walton returned by opening a large Walmart store in Newport in 1969. And guess what? Customers in Newport voted with their feet. They chose Walmart's low prices over the old Ben Franklin store that Sam's former landlord and his son were running, eventually forcing that store to close. Sam didn't gloat publicly, but he did note with subtle satisfaction that his customers ultimately shut down the very business that had once pushed him out. Life had come full circle. Sam Walton's journey from a single dime store to a global retail empire carries an inspiring message. When life knocks you down, you can come back stronger. His philosophy was simple: work hard, learn from everyone, innovate fearlessly, and put the customer first. But living it out revolutionized an industry. From driving a beat-up pickup truck while being the richest man in America, to dancing the hula in a grass skirt to celebrate his employees' achievement, Sam showed that success doesn't have to change your values or your sense of humor. He remained the same determined, customer-loving country boy even at the top. So the next time you visit a Walmart, take a moment to remember the man who started it all with one tiny store, then lost it, and decided not to quit. Sam Walton's life proves that a major loss can hide a greater opportunity, and that perseverance and adaptability are key to achieving great success. As Sam once said, celebrate your successes, find some humor in your failures, and above all, never let anyone else dictate your fate. When life takes something from you, will you give up or build something even bigger? The choice, as Sam Walton's story shows, is truly up to you. Believe in yourself and keep going, and you just might change the world in the process. And congratulations, you're one video closer to who you're meant to be. Believe. To watch the incredible story of McDonald's founder Ray Kroc, check the video right there next to me. I think you'll love it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there. Ray Kroc's story proves that it's never too late to start chasing your entrepreneurial dreams. At 52 years old, Ray Kroc was a struggling salesman peddling milkshake mixers door to door.
And here we are again. Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed, deep breaths in through our noses and out through our mouths. The way we began. The way it all begins, always with our thoughts. Our powerful minds, which are always subject to our control, no matter how hard it's been to control them. We know the truth, don't we? We saw it today in our effort. We see it every day in life, in the gym of life. We know that we have the power to determine what thoughts we will act upon, and therefore we also have that power to determine what feelings allow to flow out and through us. Because our feelings are ultimately connected to our thinking. And if we control our breath with our thoughts, we can always control our thoughts and therefore our feelings. To learn and to grow and to be mind healthy and mind wealthy, peaceful, kind, loving, free and successful in whatever we do, wherever we are, no matter what. That's why we are already, whether we know it or not, determined nation. A people, a nation that always has the power to determine, to think, and to be positively, undoubtedly, unwaveringly loving, no matter what.